Good morning, good morning, good morning. On this Friday, TGIF to some of those who may be heading their way to work or who just starting their day. Let's be thankful that we're here, right? There are many people who are not able to open their eyes. There's some people who are not able to verbally say, you know, top of the morning, grand rising, good morning, however you greet each other, right? So today I want to talk about, you know, don't be content with your content, right? So for you know what I do. So I do the definition thing, right? So content, because they're both spelled the same way, right? Content is in a state of peaceful happiness or a state of satisfaction, right? That's content. Content is the material dealt with in a speech, literary work as distinct from its form or style. It's also information made available by a website or other electronic medium. That's what content is. It could also mean the things that are held or included in something or the amount of a particular constituent occurring in a substance. A list of chapters or sections given at the front of a book or periodical. So when you look at those definitions and meaning, right? I have been, I myself have been doing this for a year now, a little bit over a year. And, it's very easy for me to be content with the things that I have put out, right? I believe, well, I know I'm not believing because if I believe some way, shape, or form, I'm doubting that I'm not doing enough, which is, which, which would lead me to not being content with my content because I know I've done some things that needs improvement, right? For example, my approach may may not be satisfactory to some people, right? It leaves you room to dissect yourself. It leaves you room to say, what do I need to do better as far as drawing people to the conversation, drawing people to my perspective. I'm not here to manipulate anybody and into saying that my way is right. I am, having a conversation from a view of myself. Some people might say that is manipulation. I mean, technically it is manipulation because you're trying to get somebody to see a thing in your aspect, but it's not the manipulation that the world may see it as because everybody believes that manipulate some people, let me not say everybody, some people believe that manipulation is about the negative concept to brainwash to make everybody be under your ways of thinking or understanding or knowledge. That's not what we're supposed to be doing. We are supposed to be giving people content. Good morning, Latoya. How you feeling? You give people content to have them to explore if it could work for them. If it works for them, that's a great thing, right? You're gonna have some people that will disagree with you about your views. You'll have people that will understand what you're saying and agree with it. My job in my opinion, is to put the information out there. Whatever I have, give it to the people. What good is your understanding and wisdom if you keep it to yourself? It's no value. It has no value to anything. So there's nothing wrong with giving it to the people, right? Some people get disappointed, that their content ain't winning people. It's not winning. It may not be winning souls. It may not be renewing minds. It may not be generating somebody to go ahead and pick up your views and run with it. That's not what this is about for me, right? I just want, for me, I just want people to hear a different side of what they normally hear, right? I'll give you an example. I I met some family this year, right? And we had a family reunion. And going into the family reunion, you do the things that you prepare for it. You set the date, you pick a menu, you do everything you can to set a genre for the family to have an eventful good time, right? And even though you did all of that, they may gain something out of what the content of the family reunion was. A lot of the family said, you know what, cousin, big cousin, little cousin, I appreciate that you did this because I never received this type of gratitude. I never received this type of love from the family that I grew up with. I never understood why we always went about it this way. And now that I see it the way that you're bringing it, it's a different thing. I need to apply that. I was content with that because it brought a new thing to a person that didn't never experience that. Naga, good morning. So when you look at the content that you put out on this app, right? Because if anybody understood my last live, you have to understand that you're a brand, right? When you push that go live, whether you understand it or not, you are branding yourself. So now that you're branding yourself, for example, if I brand myself as being an encourager, I'm okay, Toya. How are you? If if I brand myself to be an encourager, I have to do things in the aspect of encouraging. If I brand myself as a motivator, I need to I need to do things that will motivate people. If I brand myself as being a positive influencer, I have to do things in a positive manner. Even when I end the live, my content goes with even when you you go about your everyday life, you have to live the things that you're trying to portray, excuse me, on these lives. And there have been people that have spoken to me in the background. I will, if they want to give the testimony about the conversation, they can. I can say I continuously do what I do on an everyday basis. But y'all may not believe me. Sometimes it takes a testimony from somebody to show if somebody is living, you know, are they following their content? You know, your your character, the content is your character. That's what we normally say, right? So if I'm being one way and then being another way off this thing, I'm living a lie. Nobody wants to live a lie, right? So I have to continuously grow and to be content with the content. but I can't be satisfied with it because I know that there's always room for growth. So what does that mean for me? I have to sacrifice some things, right? I have to sacrifice some free time. I have to sacrifice uh, 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 a day to put content out here. And as far as that, I could be content with that because I know I'm doing things to help other people or encourage other people. I know it, right? But I can't be content with it because there's always room to grow. How can I help somebody? This is why a lot of the times I ask people, you know what? If I'm doing something wrong, pinpoint it. Or if you think there's room for me to grow as far as what I'm doing on these lives, feel free to leave a comment, right? Because at the end of the day, I can't get better if I only have my own eyes, right? I can't see all of the wrongs that I do because I'm in the inside looking out. It's nice to have a different view from a different perspective, and sometimes different people because they're on the outside looking in, right? I can't say I'm a good parent if my children say you're not there enough, right? I need their understanding to help me become a better father. I can't say I'm a good friend and people are not content with the things that I'm doing to be Scorpio, good morning, to be a good friend. I have to do things. I have to show room for growth to improve the attribute that I want to be in people's lives. I can't just be satisfied that Scorpio Mama would consider me a friend, or Naga would consider me a friend, or Toya would consider me a friend. I have to continuously do something in order for that friendship to work. Will I make everything? Will I make the right decisions all the time? No. That's why I can't be satisfied with anything that I do. Your reaction helps me to say if I'm doing right or wrong, but that doesn't mean that I'm content. It I need to I may feel I need to do better. You guys may be saying, it's okay, you're doing a great job. I may not feel that way. I may just turn around and say, what can I do to be better? Right? On here, I always talk about, you know, let's let's come together. So the first question would be, am I making it comfortable for people to sit down and have a conversation? Right? I love the fact that people are tuning in because they're supporting me as far as the likes, the views, and things of that nature. I am saying now, what can we do to make it better? Because I'm not content with just I appreciate the fact that everybody's doing it, but I am not content with just that. I want to do more. That's why I'm not content with my content because I need to. I'm glad I did not have to. You're doing you're doing good then, Scorp, and that's what I'm saying. Sometimes we need to be there for the people uh that may fall off the wagon, right? So if I constantly say if you need somebody to talk to, I am here. I have to continuously be available for that to exist, right? I don't have to go above and beyond. I just have to do more than enough to show that I am there for the person that I am telling this to, right? And I know for the before, the last live, uh it was a distance between, you know, me and the subscribers because I wasn't putting out content on this side of the field. And I you know, I felt like I wasn't doing enough just because of that. That's what led me to have this conversation about being content with my content, because I am not I don't want nobody to feel like I'm content, right? There's room to grow for me. Now I got to do a better job of sacrificing things to be the person that I said I was going to be on this app, right? Shout out, shout out to Word, shout out to the 9%, because they give me grace and opportunity to have a conversation with them. Sometimes I can grow on a person's panel. I can grow on other people's conversation, because they give you the spark that you need to become better people, right? The one thing that I used to do, is come up on panels. Shout out to Selena, shout out to Scorpio Mama, shout out to Cherish the Well-Being, right? Because they gave me the opportunity to become a better version of myself on this app. Because when you start this thing, you you're so nervous about what you're gonna say, how it's gonna be received. Sometimes you just gotta go on out there and just say what you need to say. Sometimes you just need to have that authenticity to for the people to understand what your content is really about. Sometimes you just have to be as passionate as a person who is being renewed in their faith of whatever it is, whether it's religion, whether it's God, whether it's people, whatever it is. You have to be, you have to be, you have to have that fire, the burning bush that's inside of you, to continue to drive yourself to whatever your destination is. My destination is to give as much help as I can, whether it's encouragement, whether it's through prayer, whether it's just to have a conversation to uplift, whatever it is. I know that I have to do better. Even if you tell me I'm doing a great job, I'm always looking for a way to become better than what you said that I am. Greatness is a thing that you have to strive for on a continuous basis. You can never be content with being okay. Some people might say, they're okay being who they are, but not even see the greatness in them. That's when they're content, or they're satisfied, or they're happy with where they're at. I'm not happy with where I'm at as far as the contents and things of that nature. Uh, you have to continuously improve yourself and not change for the worse. Change. Cheeky, good morning. Because at the end of the day, if you change, there's a possibility that you can change for the worse. I want to improve to be the best version of myself that I can be. That's why I don't mind, having a collaboration conversation. I don't mind, you know, joining people to become a better version of myself. Shout out to the 9%, because their motto is a better you is a better us. In order for me to become a better person, I need the people around me to understand that they have to be a better an embetterment of themselves as well, right? Shout out to Cheeky. If Cheeky don't put out the history, I may not know where I'm coming from, right? So her works makes me a better person, and in return, the cycle goes from me being better for her until her doing more content for the history of many different people. And that's what we need. And in return, what happens is there's a bond that grows between people. You know, in the background, you know, we check on each other. I ain't hear from you in a while, Gary. Hey, Cheek, I'm okay. What's going on with you? How's everything? Uh, I'm okay. How's the weather? The weather's doing good. Now we in a different season now. We got to watch ourselves because this is, you know, some people will call it Indian summer. Now other people may call it, you know, pneumonia weather because of the changing of the weather, right? All because, you know, of the content that's being given out. And I'm not, you know, I could be content with meeting one person. That's not my assignment. My assignment is to continuously meet other people, have conversations. Me and Naga could have a conversation and we can disagree about something, but you know, I understand that he's doing this because he wants the people to understand where he's coming from. And I want people to understand where I'm coming from. So we can agree to disagree, but understand that there's no malice involved with that. That's the beautiful part of having these type of conversations. That's the beautiful part about going up on a panel, because as long as you're trying to build something, right? You're trying to build, the building is called growth that we're trying to do, or I'm trying to do. Growth of self, growth of an individual that then becomes a growth of, you know, more than an individual, a group, into a community, into a tribe, or however you want to call it, right? A sector, a section on YouTube, however you want to view it, right? The like-minded people have to come together. We have to make each other feel comfortable, and in order for that to occur. So with that, I can't be content with my content because I don't feel like there's enough people that feels comfortable in having conversations with me. So in return, I would have to say, what do I need to make people feel comfortable to say, you know what, I'll have the conversation, right? I appreciate everybody that's in the chat. I appreciate what you say in the chat, right? And I understand that everybody's not here just for to be a a loyal supporter, right? We need to have the standing of, hey, if you're doing a great job, let me add my 2 cents, right? This is what we have to understand. Everybody that adds to the content, 2 cents, if everybody does that, the 2 cents could be worth $1. And $1 could grow into $10. We are investing in one another, right? Shout out to President Lisa J, right? They tell you how to invest financially. I'm trying to tell you how to invest in yourself to gain abundance with yourself, and not in a financial aspect, because we have to understand there's always room to grow, right? We can't keep living by an old dog can't learn new tricks. Anybody can learn something new as long as they're not grown. Your mind is it has room to grow. Your character has room to grow. We cannot be content with the content that we are displaying in our everyday lives as well as here as well, right? I truly I know, I don't believe it, I know that what people do here can affect somebody off of here, right? So I have no problem helping somebody develop themselves. I have no, to give advice. If it works for you, it works for you. If it doesn't work for you, it does not work for you. And I'm okay with that. But my job is to put it on the table. My job is to make it available for someone to receive, grasp, pick up, review it, view it, however you want to see it. And if it works for you, you take it home. And the home is you. You're the home. You're the church. You're all of those things. You're the storehouse. Take it and keep it where you can use it, where you can find it and use it again. Can one be content with his or her growth? If they are content with his or her growth, the better question is, can you still grow? If you're content, you're satisfied. And if you're satisfied, you may not feel that you need to do anything else. This is why I'm saying I'm not content with my content. I know there's room to grow. If I am content, I know I will not do anything else because I am content with exactly what I have. Right? Does that mean I'm supposed to be here and reach the entire world? No. I just know that there's more people to reach. Right? I just need to find out what's a better way for me to reach. Some people may say go vertical. Some people may say network. Some people may say, you know, uh, 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 put out more shorts to grow your network or however it is. It's pot. I mean, if you can, right, you could be content with progress, but you want to see more. But if we being technical or literal, no, because if you're happy and I mean, if you're satisfied, right, you're not gonna want to do X amount of more work, right? It's a reason why a hungry person can can do more things than a person who is satisfied by making. All right, let me give you an example, right? If I make the NBA and I just become content that I was drafted, I'm not going to do anything to improve my status because I'm sad. I'm content with where my work has already gotten me. Some people stay with their work. That's the content. That's what it means to be content. They are satisfied. Uh, 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 they're satisfied with what they did to get there. But a hungry person is never satisfied because they always looking for room to grow. What's the next best thing I can do to do this? What's the next best thing I can do to 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 to, to reach out to people even more? These are the things that you have to ask yourself, right? That those that's why I'm saying for me, I'm not content with my work, right? I can be happy. I can be happy with what I'm doing, but I'm not content because I know there's room to grow. You could be happy doing a whole bunch of things that you do, but if you're satisfied, you know, I think that your contentment will stop you from elevation, in my opinion. So that's why I'm saying, I need to do more. That's why I will ask people, what do I need to do for you to feel comfortable? You know what I mean? What how can we work? How could I make you feel comfortable for you to work with me? Right? Like I said, me and Chicky, we don't have that problem because we have conversations. And especially when you know what that person is doing is a blessing or is right up your wheelhouse, you're gonna do whatever it takes for them to reach what their goal is. You know, that's why I can go on a nightly basis to get on the words panel because I truly know that his intent is for people to elevate, to to be a better person. That's in my wheelhouse. So I will go over there and I will give my time and I will give my effort and things like that. Hey, we appreciate the fact that we're on a 1-2 thing, right? I can do that thing, with Lady Shay. I share people out because their messages is on their way to for improvement, right? I could share Shay Love out. I could share Chiki out. I could share, you know, I gotta catch you live. Now I got just seen that you did it live and I gotta catch it. And if that's if it's helping somebody to improve or not be content with their situations at hand, then I will share it out. Why? Because it may not matter if I understand the message. Let me rephrase that. It's okay for me to understand the message. It's also better for me to say, you know what, this young man he has a point, he's having a conversation. Listen to his conversation so that way you can understand if it affects you or not. If it would help you or will it not help you, right? So you have to do, you know, Um, you have to do the things that is going to reach your goal. Like I said, you wouldn't believe some of the comments I get. I just laugh and keep it moving. But that's what I'm saying. Riaz, good afternoon. But that's the thing that I'm saying, right? It's not to say that you're not going to get any negative reviews. If you, because even in a, like, here's the thing, right? Even with a negative review, right? They may be making a point but have a nasty way of saying it, right? So you have to read it and examine it and then say if it worked, they're if they're making a valid point, you have to examine it and check it and see if if it's real or not. I have no problem with constructive criticism. I have a problem with the criticism not being on point. I have the problem with the destructive criticism because destruction is not helping you, you know, it's not helping you to see a thing. If you're trying to destroy somebody, that's not, and not giving a solution to re elevate them or set their foundation or build themselves back up. What's the point of doing that? Right? That's why I try my best not to say a negative aspect because if I get nasty, I don't care if you come up. That's just being honest. And that's most of us when we get to that level of nastiness. You don't care if a person come up. I always want to see somebody win. Right? I don't care if somebody wins on my behalf and never speaks to me again. They're winning. I would be content with that because they're elevating themselves. They're growing into something else. I understand that I may not be in I just might be that season for them, right? And I'm good with that, right? The goal was met. When your goal is met, you could be content. Whatever the goal is, right? If you think that people if Chicky says, you know what, I think everybody understands the history of what I'm doing. So if that's the case, she'll be content and she'll fall back. She'll slow down. She'll slow down to a bare minimum. Not because you know she don't have the content to give. It's just that she's content with what she's already done. That slows the progress. That stagnates everything. Once you're content about something, to me, you're at a standstill, right? And if you and that standstill, like I always tell you, stagnation kills dreams. So if a stagnation kills dream, the momentum is going to stop because you're content. Content to me is equal to stagnation. I may get pushed back over that. I have no problem with that. But I am also going to be able to understand if I'm wrong, how I'm wrong, and apply it to where it will make me correct. Right? It takes a spark for you to come out of from your from being content. And I'm mixing the words because I'm trying to make sure everybody understand the words are two different words, even though they're spelled the same. Right? I would love to give content on how to make money, right? But I have other people to do that. That's why I will share out. If you look at my community wall, I share out Lisa J. I share out Prez because they can tell you better than I can how to invest your money into a progressive way. Will there be losses? Probably, but for the most part, they'll win more than they'll lose. Miss Chicago, good morning. How are you feeling? Right? And I just spoke up, and here she is. Lisa J, good morning. Right? Me, good morning. And that's the thing that we have to understand. If everybody was content with what they was doing, there would be a lot less people making content because they're content, right? But because, you know, me and me could have a conversation, it's like, you know what? We see a lot of people in pain, or we see them suffering silently. So me will just jump on there and have a conversation about, a thing of encouragement. How seeking a higher power, seeking seeking God can help you do X, Y, and Z. It could pull you up from the valley and put you on top of the hill. Those are the things that she can do. That's the things that she do, right? But she's never content about it because she knows there's more people that needs to hear this. And if she was ever content that there was nobody else to reach, we know she would stop and stop right then and there because she said, I've done enough to where people could understand the message. We have those conversations, right? That's why I'm saying I'm not content with this because not to say that I need more friends from YouTube. I'm not saying that I don't. I'm not saying that I do. If it develops, it develops. You're meant to be in my, I'm meant to be in your conversations and you meant to be in mine. You feel comfortable having a conversation with me and I have the conversation. I feel comfortable with the conversation that I can have with you. Those are the things that we have to continuously understand. It's about growth, right? And if you like, it's stunting your growth. Being content can stunt your growth. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But as long as you're willing to sacrifice a certain thing, you're never content. If you're ready to give something away, you're not content. You know, if you're ready to give something away to improve yourself, you're not content, right? So I'm not content with my content because there's always room for me to grow. I'm always willing to take the advice of somebody. I'm always willing to ask the question, how can I do better? Right? And those are the things that we have to do going forward, right? If I believe that, uh, uh, it takes a village to raise a person, how can we become the village? I can ask that. You see what I'm saying? So those are the things that we have to do going forward. We have to know that, at the end of the day, there's room for us to grow and we cannot be content with things that we have. And that's all I'm saying. If you know that there's room for you to grow all the time. So you have to do the best thing for yourself. And that's just the bottom line. You have to find room to not be content. You have to, if you feel stagnated, you have to find a spark. And hopefully, I can be a spark for the individual. Hopefully, I can, you know what I mean? Like, hey, uh, like Miss Chicago. I think Miss Chicago is a lovely person. I think she has room to. I know she has she has the gift to be a blessing, right? But it doesn't matter. Like I could say this all day to her. If she doesn't see that she's able to do what she do, she's content with her. She's content where she's at. Like shout out to me, watermelon sugar, Selena, atmosphere, realist, people like that, because they said I can do more. I was so worried about not being able to do it that I was content to sit back and just sit by the sideline. You understand? Like I was so content that I was so worried that because content could lead to worryation too. It blocks a blessing. I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. I believe that content could be a blessing blocker, right? Because if you understand you're here to be a blessing, you can't be content until you have done your maximum level. And if you reach your maximum level, you ain't gonna be able to do it. Why? Because you're content. I've done everything that I can, and that's not for me, in my opinion, speaking about myself, I have too much to give to be content. I do. I don't even care. Like it could get to the point where it could be nobody in this chat. It could be nobody viewing this thing. I'm so prepared that I'll just record it and let it go out there. And if people pick it up, then I'm fine. I can have a conversation and say, you know what? For those of y'all catching the replay, sit back and relax and enjoy the conversation. Right? Why? Because I know I'm doing what I need to do. I'm not content until whatever it is that is boiling within me, it pours out of me because I know it's going to help somebody. So that way I can't be content with my content because there's always something for me to give. Not because I'm a know-it-all, not because I'm a smart addict. It's because I know that It's meant for somebody. Like I said earlier, what good is wisdom and understanding if you take it to the grave? It means it's worthless. It's not like it's a monetary thing. What happens if you got money and turn around and lose it? I mean, you die with it. It's going into the ground. It means nothing. What happens if you got $1 and now you go into a cashless store? It means nothing. But the information that I feel that I have, it can always flow to somebody. That's why I could say if I reach one, maybe the next one could reach 1,000. But what I'm doing is laying the ground for that one to if it works for that one and they can elevate it into a new level, then his message could be received better than mine, or her message could be received better than mine, and then they can reach the 1,000. My part is done for that individual, but there's more individuals that may need the same thing from a different aspect. That's why I can't be content, because I have to continuously grow. I may not be able to grow at my age physically, but it doesn't mean that you can't grow emotionally. It doesn't mean that you can't grow spiritually. It does not mean you can't grow financially, or and in my world and in my understanding, abundance, because abundance and financial don't always go together. This is why I tell people, you know what? If you having a financial situation, I would share Unbiased, because shout out to Unbiased, because she's a young woman that can show you how to take what you have and craft something to your liking. Now, your liking may be received by somebody else if you wear it, but the fact that she's giving you the idea to reinvent what you already have, to me, it's a blessing. So I would share it out. So that's why I can't be content with what I'm doing, because there's all types of avenues for people to grow. There's all type of avenues for people to elevate, whether it's their mind, whether it's their soul, whether it's their self-esteem, whether it's whatever it is. I feel like I have information to add, right? If I sit here and tell you, you know what, they have a program for you to become a homeowner. If I had that, and it's called the FHA loan, or it's called whatever it is, I will do the research and then go ahead and give it to you. But you got to have the encouragement to step out and say, I'm ready to do that. So for me, I have to show you that you're able to do that by walking out with the understanding that you got to have faith with yourself. It starts with you. So I can't give you the outside part of you if you don't understand what's inside of you. That's why your conscience is always going to be your first preacher. The conscience is what God has instilled in you already. That's why I continuously say you are the storehouse. You are the reason why God is dwelling within you, because you are a vessel that God wants to be in. You can tune him out all you want, but he's always going to be within you. We always look into the hill from which our help comes. The hill is supposed to be, you got to get to your higher self to be receiving of what what God is telling you as well. We always looking for the outside from help. We got to understand that inside of us, we have all the tools that we need. Why? Because it was given to us at birth. It was instilled in us, right? But if we don't even have that conversation, I'm doing the best that I can. If I felt content, I wouldn't continuously say the same thing over and over. So obviously, I need to find out how could I make it resonate with other people in another aspect. That's why I can't be content with my content. Am I doing a good job? I think I know I am, but humility makes me say words that don't even fit in a situation, right? So I think I am, right? But if somebody activated themselves, their testimony is going to say, well, shout out to Busted Down Brown for giving me that, that encouragement, right? And then for that person, I am content because they have reached the goal that, the growth of elevation that they feel that they need to restart their journey, right? You know, uh, 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 there's people out here that's trying to tell you that there's a way for you to grow, to elevate, to be the best version of yourself. Well, however you want to look at it, whether it's uh, 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 the education of self, or whether it's the education of finance, whether it's the history of where you come from. All of that is growth. And this is why I align myself with people, right? If you want to call it a group, then fine, we can call it a group, right? I would be proud to be in a group with Lisa J. I am proud to be in a group with the word. I am proud to be in a group with Thais. I am proud to be in a group with her meekness. I am proud to be in a group with Chicky. Why? Because we are all growing within each other, right? We are all growing from each other because what she or he may have for me, it can help me grow. And what I can give to them, they can take it and apply it to themselves and they may grow, right? We're never too old to learn. That's why I'm telling you, get that mantra that an old dog don't learn new tricks, throw that in the garbage. Because as long as you have the mind and your mind can be renewed, growth can always happen. It will always happen if you continue to renew yourself. That's why when the Bible tells you be in the world but not of it, it's telling you you got to be physically here, but growth can still happen for you. That's what it's telling you. Be here, but don't be here. Don't be, don't just follow the leader, right? Follow the leader that helps you grow. That's what it's telling you. Growth is the matter of fact. Elevation is the matter of fact. So of course I can't be, content with my content. Will I lose people? Yeah, I've lost a lot of people. Does every loss hurt? Yeah, some hurt more than others. Does it mean that I love them less? No. I'm just not I'm just not qualified to be in their surrounding at this particular time. I can live with that. But if they're progressing, if they're elevating, if they're growing, I'm good with that. I could be content with that. But being content with my content, I can't be because there's still other people that needs to hear this thing, right? Only through networking with other people can this thing occur, which is why I don't mind, jumping on people's panels. Which is why, like, there's some beautiful people with some beautiful minds out here. I don't want them to feel like their message is lost. I don't want them to feel that way. So if I can add to that, I can add to that. And if wherever I can add to it, that means I'm not content with what I'm doing. That's the beautiful part of that. And that's why, like I said, I have day ones. I have supporters from day one, and I love them. I love them all. Whether it's Chicky, whether it's Selena, whether it's Atmosphere, whether it's Realist, and I am mentioning men because I can love them as brothers. It doesn't have to be in a negative concept, right? I can love these young ladies. I can love my cougar mamas. They know who I'm talking about. That's the name that we got for each other. You understand? Because we are comfortable with where we're going with things in our everyday conversation or our everyday lives, even if we don't speak every day, even if I don't even if I don't see them on YouTube, they know I'm not that far away. They know how to contact me, and I know how to contact them. That's called growth. So I can't be content because I understand there's more people that need that, right? I love them all. Word, watermelon, bronze. It's so many people. Now, it's so many people that I can say that I love, and it's a genuine love for these people. And that's what you guys gotta. That's what we all need to understand, because as soon as we get content with what we're doing here with our content, I promise you'll probably say, I don't need these people no more. I'm never gonna say I don't need nobody, because as long as I'm able to grow in the mind, the soul, I will always need somebody to help me elevate myself. I get it. We are born alone, we're gonna die alone. But in between those stages, you need people around you. You may not need 1,000 people around you. You can use 20, you can use 15, but they don't gotta be the best of the best. That's one thing. But you can still grow with associates. You can still learn from those associates. You can grow with the friends. You can grow with the best of friends. Does that mean everybody here is gonna be best friends? Hell no, it don't mean that. It just means that you can grow from somebody. I can grow from what Naga tells me. I can grow from what Chicky tells me. I can grow from what me is saying online. I could grow. I can grow. Listen, shout out to Watermelon Sugar, right? Because I can grow just from her content, even if it doesn't even pertain to, you know, a dude, men, because she does makeup. But the concept of her progressing and doing the things that she do, I understood that, and I can grow from that. I can grow from Selena's interviewing style. I think Selena is one hell of an interviewer. I truly do. I told her this, right? And as long as she does that, she's awesome regardless, right? I think she should just interview everybody that she wants to interview. Just do that. I think if she becomes an interviewer, she gonna reach 1 million subscribers. I know this. I do. She encouraged me to say, you know what, Gary, you can go ahead and do exactly what you're doing now, and people are gonna receive you. Everybody's told me that, and that's why I am doing this 1 year later. So, but in the coming days, I'm gonna upload the very first live that I ever did, that I spoke on, to have to give a message, not my test run, but the it's change. If you get the time, listen to what I'm saying 1 year ago. Tell me if critique it if you want. I don't really care. But if you're going to critique it, understand that I'm going to use it to either continuously grow so that my content could be better, or if it's not, if I see no value in it, I will tell you thank you for the conversation, and not be mad at you for your critique. That's the thing that I understand. I understand that I can't be content with negative comments. I gotta see if it works for me too. Because even in the hate, there could be a truth that can help me elevate from your hate. That's why it doesn't bother me. But I'm not going to sit here and argue with people about it. I'm not, because I know I'm doing what I need to do for people. I know that I know that one day somebody's going to say, you know what? I remember what Bussett was saying, and now I understand it. That could be, I could no longer be on YouTube, but it'll help somebody grow there. So I truly do love everybody that comes here. It's a genuine thing. And I don't go over there to support. I go over there to comment, right? So even the new people that I've come across, whether it's Goddess D, whether it's Tierra Latrice, whether it's Liz B, whether it's uh, uh, BDB, you know, I can grow from every aspect of the world because every little piece could make you complete. And this is what we have to understand. We don't have to sit in mess to progress. You can progress without the mess. Will there be messy situations from time to time? But if you grow from it, you know how to stay away from it, right? And that's the community that we're trying to do. We trying to build something to where even if we all sitting in mess, we can all be a human chain and pull somebody up out of there, right? These are the people, I don't have to see them in person, right? If your content is your character, I can actually fall in love with your character and never see your face. That's why I don't show my face. I don't want my face to be seen because it's not the face that needs to be, it's not the face of mine that need to be received, but the words that I'm saying, they need to be received. You understand? I don't got to see people to say that they're beautiful. I could call a man beautiful. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with me. It's your character. It's your content that allows you to be a beautiful person. It's your content that can make you an ugly person. But everybody's not going to be beautiful every day. And I learned, that's why I'm saying I could learn that. I've learned that from certain people. Like I said, I learned that from Watermelon because she's the one that does the makeup. And I understand that it encourages people to be a better version of themselves. Just because they wear the makeup, they are bettering themselves. So I need to make up myself in my mind. I need to make up myself in my soul, right? In order for me to be the best version of myself, there has to be growth. And if there's no growth, that means I'm content. And if I'm content, I am finished growing. So that's what I have, to give to you guys today. I truly appreciate that. I'm gonna go back and read some of these comments because I was just flowing, and sometimes when you go through that, uh you just need to get that out because if it gets lost, then it gets lost. Man, that's my issue. Beat said, man, that's my issue right now. Now sick on a space with a bunch of content folks. Gotta as go my and that's what and that's the thing. When you sit around stagnated people, you know, how could you grow in stagnation? How could you walk forward if you got cinder blocks on your feet? How could you grow? How could you walk if there's shackles there? You gotta break it. You gotta find a way to break it. That's why for me, I can't be content with what I'm doing here. If I'm content, I'll just be. And it's crazy because when you hear somebody who's content, you can literally hear it like, oh, they're good with where they at. They don't even mind it. They got and it's crazy because just because you see the potential in them, it doesn't make them elevate from their contentment. They'll still sit there, and that's why I said sometimes you have to be social on social media, but it's okay to be social, but you can still be who you could be your genuine self, and people will gravitate to you. You don't gotta quote unquote fake it till you make it. Shout out to Commander. What up, Nine? But at the end of the day, you can be who you are and people will gravitate to you because of your authenticity. It doesn't mean you got to stay where you are. It just means that you have room to grow. A lot of people, me and Word have this conversation over all the time. You know, I don't want to meet people where they are. I don't agree with that because I think even if I lower myself, I can pull myself up one, and it can give me a better insight of how far I came to, and it will help me grow even more the third. So for me, it's different. I have different outlooks on what other people do, but that's why sometimes what Meek says, she can say it better than me. I know for sure if I say something about finances, I know good and well Lisa J gonna say it better than me, or Prez is gonna say it to me. I love my Cougars. They have been a blessing to me ever since I got here. Can lack of being can lack of being content cause greed? I'm gonna think about this. Uh, could con lack of being content cause greed? I think a better word for that, Naga, to be honest with you, I think it can cause selfishness, but not. I think it's more being selfish. If you think selfishness leaves the greed, then we will be on the same page. But selfishness is okay. For example, I'm gonna use Lisa J. Right? Lisa J. just gave out the advice that finances, the interest rate went down. Right? So if the interest rate went down, and she can tell you, it's going to drop down to, okay, it's at 6, let's say it dropped down to 4, and she kept that to herself, she wouldn't do this, because she's not selfish like that. And I don't think that's greed, because she can't really gain from she can gain, but what is she gaining by the interest rate dropping for herself? But she's not like that. You understand what I'm saying? So her selflessness is going to tell you, listen, this is what you need to do if it's at when it gets down to 5%. Go ahead and do A, B, and C. This may be a great time for you to invest in this, and this. If you want to invest into a home, she can connect somebody that she's not in the real estate like that, I believe. Realist, what's going on? I was just talking about you. Shout out to you, man. Um, she will have the information for you to do the things that you need to do. But when you selfish, I mean, I don't, you can be, it can lead to greed, but those are two different components, and so, I don't think that, lack of being content I don't think it could cause, to me, it can, but it's not what's going to cause it. It'll cause you to be more selfish than be greedy, right? Because you consume. Well, greed means you're trying to consume everything. Selfishness means you more than likely you are in possession of it and don't want to give it to nobody. Greed is more of consumption. Selfishness means you already have it. So I don't think that's how that goes for me. But I've been wrong, and that'll be a conversation that me and you can have at a later date. But I mean, but that's what I'm saying. When you are content with just having your own view of a thing, you can't even have that conversation, right? And if you on here being content with what you already know, your content is gonna be uh uh it's gonna be multiple replays, because you're saying the same, you're regurgitating the same thing, even if it's on a negative aspect. There's why the beef sector can always have something new to beef about, because if they stay on the same thing, they're content. They need to be relevant. So you have to start something anew. You have to start a new beef. You see what I'm saying? That's why even with them, they can't be content with what they're saying. And we just need to be not content with what we're doing. Period. It's not to say if they can do it, we can do it. It's not about what they're doing. It's about what we're doing. If we're being content, you know what I'm saying? Like realist, like realist has been, making some very good conversations and his viewpoints. And you can see that the growth in his viewpoints because he's not content with what he's doing. He's not content at all. That's why he can continuously do it. Because realists can tell you yourself, if I'm content with a thing, I ain't even touching it. It's good where it's at. And that's just how that's what it means to be content. That's why I can't be content with my content because I may get a new. Right, you talking, but what I'm saying is real is you talking it, but the viewpoints is always being refreshed. Your view of a certain thing is being renewed. If it was just all right, it is what it is. You ain't gonna have that conversation because it is what it is. There's nothing else to talk about. I'm not gonna talk about it because it is what it is. But when you refresh it, when you add to it, you're not content with what you're being given. And that's the thing that I'm saying. If you're content with a thing, I promise you, you're going to get bored with it and you're going to stop doing it right then and there. I'm good. If y'all play video games, right? What happens when you beat the game? You content. And then I'll put it like this. Most of us here played Super Mario Brothers, right? We knew how to we knew how to end the game. We knew how to do all those things. Then when you found out you could have 100 men or whatever the case may be, you turned around. You 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 continuously played it until you got all those free men. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You go to it's several boards, but I'm gonna use 3-1. World 3 first board. You hit the turtle on the brick. Doop, 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 doop. Till you get to that till them freeze came up, right? And once you felt like you was done with getting all the freeze, what you do? You either died to finish the board, or you had enough time to knock that turtle off the way and go ahead and get that 5,000 points at the top, hitting the pole, sliding down. That's just how it is in everyday conversation. That's just how it is in real life, right? We have to, Mr. Cargo. I gotta give you your wrench. Um, bear with me. But at the end of the day, that's what contentment is. When you get tired of something, you're content with what its usage rate is. You're content with what it's done for you, and it's no longer valid for you. So you're gonna get rid of it. Or if you're content with what it brought to you, you stop speaking on it. I'm not content with my with the message because I don't think it's been received by everybody. I appreciate that it reached some of y'all here because that's why, if that's why you continuously come back, right? I appreciate the support. But if you ain't, I even tell you, if you're not gaining nothing from me, I appreciate the loyalty, but I may not be the one for you. I'm being honest. I don't mind the support. I love the support. I love you for supporting me. But I know in the back of my mind, I want you to gain something from what I'm talking about. What's the point of sitting here for an hour and change if you ain't learned nothing? Just to support what I'm saying, I may not reach everybody, right? It's just like when people go to church. Every message may not be for you, but you'll find whatever you can to apply it to yourself and see if it works for you. If it didn't work for you, then I'm cool. I'm straight. It just didn't work for me. But you know in the back of your mind that that's the place where I gain some information. I'm gonna go back until I feel content that he's no longer giving me the information that I need, or she's not giving me the information that I need. If that's the case, cool. I don't care if we beefing. I don't care if you don't like me. There's people on here that have blocked me on this app. If your content is still what it is, I will still share your content. Because it's not about me. I'm selfless like that. I'm so selfish that I will promote a person that don't like me for whatever the reason is. I don't really care what the reason is. I don't know why they blocked me. They never told me I was blocked. I just thought that I'm blocked because I write on their wall and it don't even show up. But if your content is enough to where somebody else can gravitate to it, I will still share your stuff because it's not about me. I'm not content that everybody is receiving, that they're getting the growth that they need. I'm not. So until I am satisfied, or in other words, until I am content that everybody has gotten something, you will hear my voice. And that's just the way it be like that, right? But I don't. That's my thing, right? I know people be in here beefing about wrenches and it'll be total nonsense. I don't care about none of that. I don't care about none of that. If your message is on point, I will sit there and listen to it. If your message is on point, I will share it and still listen to it. That's what we're supposed to be doing here. Each one teach one. If that's everybody's model, then we can never be content. I promise you that. If your mindset is each one teach one, you could never be content with your content because you have to renew your content all the time. That's why I ask for input every time. What do I need to do? How can I reach somebody in a better aspect? If I do go vertical, I'm gonna need your help because I know there's gonna be some goofy people there, and I ain't got time. It's gonna distract me, and it's gonna mess up the message for somebody to receive it. You know, but that's my point. They're not mechanic. They not even they want to wrench and don't even want to fix the problem in the chat. But they just content with having a little blue wrench behind their name just to sit there and say, "I got it." You got it. What you gonna do with it? Everybody got shout out to the word because he always say everybody's complaining about a problem. Let's come up with a solution, right? So this is what he did. I'm gonna give you all an example, right? So he's like, okay, I think our teenage males are going through a situation. So this is what he did. He started a mentoring program for people 10 to 17, for children, teenagers, children from 10 to 17, right? There's no cost to it. There's nothing else going on, right? But here's the deal. He wants the moms to be there so they can understand that there's nothing slick going on or anything of that aspect or manner. I spoke him up, and there he is. Shout out to my 33 brother. The word, what up, 9. So this is what he did. He started a mentorship for that age group. Want the moms to be there so they could understand what the content is as far as what they're talking about in those situations, right? And that's why those are the people that you need to be aligned with because everybody has a complaint. He's trying to make a solution. And so that's why I can rock with him wholeheartedly. Does it matter that people may not agree with him? No, because at the end of the day, he may not be doing things in people's eyes correct, but we should all understand his notion, his concept, the way he's going about it. It's right. Right? So we should all say, you know what? How can we help him reach the people that he needs to reach? How could I help him and the 9% get to where they need to go? And that's all because he's not content with what the situation is. So his content is showing you he's not content with his content. That's how I am. That's how Meek is. I know that's how Realist is. Chickies like that, and everybody else that continuously do that. Unless they know they are up to no good, they can never be content. That's what's up, Score. Congratulations. But that's what makes you not be content with your content. Because if your content is your character, you always gonna feel like there's always room to grow. And that's the thing. You're gonna need we here, Scorp, and that's what I'm trying to tell everybody. This is why we continuously do that. We're here to help people. Scorp, how old is your grandson, Scorp? Because if your grandson is old enough, you know who you need to be talking to, and it's not me. I'm just being honest. We just had this conversation. There's somebody out here doing things to be a mentor, a big brother. We just had this conversation. So if he's of that age, you need to contact the word. Y'all can have that conversation. But what I'm telling you is this is what we need to do going forward. We can't just keep sitting here and you know what? The woe is me scenario. If I can, because there's no if, because you can. We don't need to be on if was a fifth, we be drunk. We could be drunk with enthusiasm. We should be drunk with encouragement. We should be drunk with all of the things that, and that's what I'm saying, Scorp. This is if he's anywhere from 10 to 17, Scorp, like I said, he's 7, he's exactly where he needs to be. I need you to contact the word. So you and Word can have that conversation and allow Word to see if he can help with you in that situation, because you said you got to save his life. Maybe he just need a good influence, right? I know that Word can be that influence. So that's why I'm here talking about him now. And as soon as I talk about it, the situation comes up. Scorpio Mama, contact the Word. You have his, he's giving out his email address. He's giving out his Instagram name. You can contact him there and have that conversation in the background, because that's not for us. That's for you and him to have the conversation going forward. And if it works, then it works. But the best thing is we are trying. If it fails, we can't say we didn't try. We may not didn't do the delivery right, but if we ain't doing the delivery right, you know we ain't content without with the content we're putting out here. That's my point. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I want people to really, really grasp with this conversation. Because at the end of the day, you are not, like I said earlier, whether we know it or not, we are a brand. The word is a brand. Realist One on here is a brand. So if he's saying what he's saying, you got to believe he really believes that, because Realist One is his brand. That's his brand. That's who he is. That's just the way it goes. My daughter says it's supposed to be punishment. Okay, so if that's punishment, my 33 brother, my 9 brother, this is not a shot. If he don't punishment, allow the word to punish him. Allow the word to punish him. Maybe he could be punished into he could be punished with encouragement. Well, I don't know that, Scorp. You know your child better than I do. Yeah, Scorp is slick, right? That's what I'm trying to tell her, really. But that's what I'm saying, though, right? We got to be available to grow and not be satisfied with our content, right? Even if you don't put out you even if you don't put out content, you can't be content with who you are, because there's always room for you to elevate. There's, thank you, uh, blessings, Gary. Thank you so much for the kind words you said about me. You're right. I'm never going to be content, because I always got room for growth. But my sins is I do progress. But that's why, you know what, Score? I mean, excuse me. You know what, Miss Chicago? You know, that's why, you know, we continuously. But there go my brother Bronze. What up? That's why we always say, Miss Chicago, you're always welcome. Because even if you don't display it to us, you are telling us that you understand that you need to get away from the procrastination, the stagnation. All we can do is put what we give. All we can do is lay out the something for you to do, and then you go ahead and do it. Right? If it doesn't work, if it doesn't work, you try to find another avenue to work. So this is the best reward for people like me, right? It's the fact that you could become comfortable enough and say what you just said. It's a blessing. It's a humbling experience. when you say what you say, Miss Chicago, when Scorp says what she just said. And what do? I may not be the one to give you the answers that you need. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you the avenue to where somebody can give you the answers that you need. And that's the thing that I want people to understand. I may not have the answer, but if I continuously build with people that do, they can have the answer for you. You understand? That's why I can say I can give you word for the mentorship. I can give you Lisa J for the financial investment portion of the thing. I can give you Chicky for going back in history to understand where we came from, how we got from Africa to Europe, from Africa to Asia, from Africa to the Americas. That's what they do. I may not have all of the answers, but I am blessed to be around people that can have the avenues to do all of those things. That's why I am here. That's why if you want to call me a bridge, then call me whatever the greatest bridge is. Some people may say it's the Brooklyn Bridge. It's not because I'm from New York. Some people may say it's the Golden Gate Bridge. Whatever it is, a bridge got to have it has to have a beginning and and a and an end on both. Whatever, however you want to view it, you got to understand that there's a bridge here. And as long as I can be a bridge, I can never be content. If my content is bridging everything together, then that's what I need to do. You understand? That's what I have to do because it just makes sense. We are all here to be whether we understand it or not, we don't have to be married to be helpmates. I know that's what we're here for. A man can help a man. We got to put our ego to the side. Women can help women. You got to stop being catty. Whatever it is that's preventing us from being a bridge or anything to connect somebody to another person, we can be that. But we can't be content that we're doing what we want to do. We do, like, how do I say this? Like I said, each one teach one. If like I said, if you know that you here to teach one person or be a blessing to one person, that season's gonna end. You have to be another blessing to somebody else. It doesn't mean because you reach one that it's over. No, you can't be content with one because your soul, your fire, the fire within you is not going to allow you to be content with just that one because you know there might be 99 other people that may need you. You understand? And that's why I'm saying we can't be content with our content. Whether we're doing content here, but our content is also our everyday lives. This is what people really got to understand. You can't be content if you out here causing chaos. You can't be content if you gave one person peace because there's more people that need peace. And if you causing more chaos and that's your thing, then you know you're gonna feel like you need to do it to somebody else. But I don't want to focus on that side because we understand that content could be is a duality to it too. But I don't want to focus on that side because at the end of the day, you got to control that to even progress to the content that you actually need in your everyday life. And that's why I'm telling us we need to do more. You know what I'm saying? Those are the things that we need to do going forward. And like I said, I appreciate the people that I connected with. You know, Lady Shay, good morning. And that's the thing that I'm saying. As long as we're not content with what we're doing, we can always we'll always continue to do what we need to do. Now, will we be stagnated? Will we be drained? Yeah, but that's why I always tell you, you got to examine yourself. You got to renew. You got to renew yourself to where you'll be strong enough to not be tired. We already know that the race is never given to the swift nor the strong, but you have to endure the down times. You got to do. You got to endure the negative attributes that's going to come your way. Hate is going to come when you're doing the right thing. Just like on the other hand, a good person going to try to do what they need to do to stop you from hating. It's always going to happen. Our opposites going to attract. We also understand I can't be content because there's going to be some people that's not well that's going to want the information that to make them get well. Our job is not to, in all reality, our job is really not to band-aid the problem. We got to get to the root of the problem and get a solution to stop the root from even growing into a deeper one. That's what we need to do. But we can't do it by ourselves. If you answering your own questions, how do you think you're going to progress? How the hell you answer your own question and progress? Not everybody's built to do that. I'm gonna say 99% of the people ain't built to do that. I know there's some people that I got all the answers. Okay, good luck with that. And if your answer is always right, how do you feel like you ain't doing the right thing? You understand what I'm saying? And that's the thing. We need to band together. We need to come together. Whether you wanted to call it a community, a tribe, whatever. I forgot. We had the conversation what community is. I forgot what I said. I think it's on words like I can't remember what I said. But at the end of the day, we have to come together in a like-mindedness, right? Because if we this is the truth. If we come together, we could never be we're not content with the situations in front of us. We won't be content with the situation in front of us until the solution is made. So we can never be content with the content that is being presented in front of us in the first place because there's too much uh, 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 lack of togetherness. There's too much good energy. It's not enough of it for people to be content in the first place. So if you're trying to be that good energy person, you trying to educate people because it's too much to learn for you to be content in the first place with that as well. And that's why I'm saying I could never be content because there's always room for me to grow in my soul, in my mind, in my emotions. All of that has room to grow. And until then, I will never be content. And that's what we need to realize going forward. But like I said, Scorp, you had that conversation with the word. Uh, uh, I know it can work. I believe, and if you need that support system, if you we gotta make each other feel comfortable enough to say, yo, I need help, right? I feel comfortable to ask anybody here, what do you think I'm doing wrong? If you think I'm doing something wrong, help me to see it so I can improve on it. We are not meant to live life under our own ideas and things like that. We all need a plug, right? Everybody wants to be woke. I see people still daydreaming because they don't understand they don't have to do anything by themselves. You're not going to get too much accomplished by yourself. You can set your foundation by yourself, but in order for you to build, you're going to need other people to build it because your view may be different from another person's view. You can be an architect, but somebody will may be a well-known architect. The proof could be in the pudding of how they build themselves. Well, how did you get there? Well, this, and this. All right, cool. You're not doing it by yourself. You took somebody's idea. The idea wasn't your own. So if you need somebody else's idea, you might as well have a conversation with them. That means you're not alone. No man is an island while they're alive. No woman is an island while they're alive. So you might as well get together, collaborate, and do the things that you need to do and stop being content with the content that you are putting out on your everyday life, whether it's YouTube or your job or in your family, because there's always room to grow. And if there's room to grow, you will never be content. Wow, that was a mouthful. But I appreciate everybody else. Anybody else have anything to say? Well, I got a little bit of time. Let me see. So if anybody, have anything to say, you know, feel free, because like I said, I don't think I'm gonna be content with my content because there's always room for me to grow. And if there's room for me to grow, I don't think I'll ever be satisfied with what I have already. That's the beauty of wanting wisdom and understanding. You could never be content because it's too much for you to have. And when you have too much to have, and when you truly understand you have to give it away when you get it, I can't be content. You call me a hopeless romantic, call me call me what you want. But at the end of the day, a family romantic, a friend romantic, whatever you want to call it, right? I just know that there's so much to give that I can't be content with what I want to give. So that's the thing. And it's just a blessing. You know what I'm saying? So, and I believe everybody here is a blessing. From Scorpio Mama to Realist to Chicky to Word, Miss Chicago. We are all blessings. Lady Shay. People ask me, why don't somebody asked me why do you think we work good together? Because if you can have a conversation, right? And I can gain from your information and you can gain from my information. We have no choice but to be working well together because we're gaining from each other. We're not losing, we're gaining, you know? And even if that conversation leads to a friendship or a development into a bigger friendship, like a big brother or a big sister or whatever it is, it doesn't have to lead to, you know, the opposite sex getting into a romantic attribute or two men becoming, you know, uh, 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 the G word, right? It doesn't have to mean none of that. It just means that a development of caring and concerning and even possibly, dare I say, love can occur. It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It's something right with you. You have compassion. Uh, 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 you have endearment towards somebody. You have love towards a person. So if that's the case, then that's what's going to happen. That's what happens. You understand? And that's what we really have to get back into that. If we don't get back into that, that means your contentment is going to leave you where you stand. And I don't think the people that are here is content with where we're standing at this particular time. So, uh okay, so I don't think nobody's coming up. So with that being said, I truly appreciate everybody coming through. I really hope that, you know, we understand that, we can't be content with our content that we're putting out, whether it's here or on YouTube. Because, like I said, as long as you have room to grow, you can never be content. So, with that being said, y'all, I truly appreciate y'all stopping by. I truly appreciate y'all hearing me out. And, I'll see you guys later. I'm out.